reach the
Alright, hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Around Town PV with Simply Vallarta. Today we're here at the Pancake House with Memo.
Wow.
Memo, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So, we've been talking a bit about the restaurant, and I had no idea it had such an interesting history. Memo, you were the very first to do it in town, huh?
I was the first restaurant to open exclusively as a breakfast restaurant.
So the first true breakfast style restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Because there were places that did breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but breakfast was kind of more like an afterthought type of thing. It wasn't a very well set up thing. Like they might have scrambled eggs and sunny side up, and
right.
a couple of things like that. And I remember when I was telling a friend of mine who had a restaurant that I was going to open for breakfast, he says, "You're dead," something like that. He says, "There's no money in breakfast." I says, "Well, I'm going to go for it."
And just looking around, it's obvious that's not true. The Pancake House is really big. How many tables do you guys have in here?
We have about 25 tables of various sizes.
Yeah, it feels like much more.
Yeah, actually more. We have,
plus there's a full-length bar with stools on the bar.
It's about 30 tables.
Indoor and outdoor in the back.
Then there's a little patio in the back.
There's a nice patio. It's a truly lush, kind of a jungle scenario.
A little bit. There's a jungle out there.
So the Pancake House's menu is insane. It's huge. They have every traditional breakfast dish that I've ever seen, and then a lot of really fun variations. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about several of the more unique names you've come up with by interacting with your customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, names that we came up with, instead of just calling it pineapple pancakes, they were Hawaiian pancakes. And
what about? I want to know the history behind the high-tech choco chip.
It was just a corny idea, I mean, it was a chocolate chip, and then I just added high-tech chocolate
so
chip.
There's no electronic.
There's nothing high-tech. It was just in order to just have a chip. It was a high-tech chip.
Well, my friends love the pancake sandwich, and as I was telling you earlier, I love the Eggs Benedict. It's hard to find a good Eggs Benedict sauce in PV, and this one's delicious.
Well, we make a number of things fresh from scratch. For example, we make the muffins. They might not be the authentic English muffin,
okay,
but it's the nearest thing we can do as far as getting the right ingredients and the recipe and so on. We make the hash browns. We make the hollandaise sauce for the Eggs Benedict. We make you might never have heard of it or seen it in the menu, but we make a really nice orange syrup for the orange pancakes and the
no, I haven't had that.
Orange waffles.
That sounds interesting.
We make our own beans. We make our own. We make everything. A lot of everything. The things that we serve, I should say.
So, ballpark figure, how many pancakes does the Pancake House serve on an average Saturday? How many pancakes do you make?
Oh, I'm not really a statistic man, but if you think that there might be 100 orders of pancakes in a day, maybe possibly more, well, that's 300 pancakes because each order has 3.
Do you basically just keep them coming?
Oh, it moves there. When we're busy, there's one worker that does nothing but take food out of the kitchen, and he uses his arms, his head, his everything.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man. He's a runner. We call him a runner. And he has to serve every table in the restaurant as quickly.
So there's only one runner.
One runner. We don't want him spoiled and thinking that we're gonna. We don't want him thinking he's going to get an assistant, anytime soon.
Interesting.
But in general, the kids, like I say, I call them kids. Some of them are a little older. They're fast enough that that's enough. Oh, sometimes we have somebody helping, because if he's serving a table of 10 or 12 or 15 or whatever,
then he gets a little.
He's going to have too many plates there piled up. So yes, depending on the size of the table, he can have help.
Yeah, I would think.
And there's one fellow, my nephew, who is the coordinator. Everything that comes out of the kitchen, he has to say, okay, it says here that this pancake should have, instead of watermelon and banana in it, it should have papaya. So he makes sure that everything that
Quality
comes out,
specialist.
quality, and
Accuracy.
make sure that it's accurate. Yeah.
An accuracy technician.
Somebody might say, I want my eggs Benedict instead of cooked and poached in water. I want them sunny side up. So he makes sure that everything is done properly.
Nice. That's reassuring.
Yeah. We used to have just, the guy that took the food would be the one that says, okay, thank you. But there were a lot of mistakes that way. This way,
That's good
the
to know.
organizer,
How
the
many
quality
restaurants
control.
have you been to that have an accuracy specialist?
Well, it's that these are quality control persons so that whatever goes to a table arrives there as correctly as the waiter wrote it. The waiter can make a mistake and write something wrong. But the idea is to not waste time in doing 2 trips to
Yeah.
to take food.
That's good to
One
hear.
trip should
I
do.
like it. I wish there were more of that happening.
We didn't used to have it, but now we have it, and everything much better quality control. Things come out right.
So I'm looking over here, Memo, and I see that you guys sell a lot of like souvenirs, but not like little,
Not printed.
chintzy things. It looks like homemade scarves and bags and things to hang on the wall. Where does all this stuff come from?
It's a little store that I added about 7-8 years ago. I had the space there. It used to be storage room, a room, and then I came up with the idea of opening up the room and turn it into a little store. And sure enough, people have breakfast, and as they leave, they might buy a scarf. They might buy. I also roast coffee. We roast
really?
coffee. So you can buy a pound of coffee, a whole bean or ground. You can buy a little stuffed animal, little animals that are made in Chiapas and San Cristobal, or handbags. Some of this merchandise comes from Guatemala. It's international, I have stuff from China, from India, from Ecuador. The Panama hats, they're actually from Ecuador.
Really?
Yeah. Panama hats were never made in Panama, they were made in Ecuador.
I did not know that.
Something people didn't know. When Teddy Roosevelt went to the construction to supervise the construction of the canal, the Panama Canal, for the photo thing, they put a hat on him, and the hats were made in Ecuador by the thousands and taken to Panama for the construction workers.
So that's how they got the name.
That's how they got the name Panama. So I have Panama hats and these birds, the hanging birds made in Mexico City.
Just a little world history lesson down here.
A
at the
little bit.
Pancake House. So you've been here for how long in town?
Myself, I've been here for about 30 years.
30 years, and the Pancake House has been here for
Or whatever, 87. I always lose track of
1987 is when the doors opened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, undoubtedly a staple of town if you're looking for breakfast.
Well, if you're a breakfast person, this is the place to go. We make mistakes here and there, but that's not the norm.
So does everyone.
Yeah.
People that acknowledge them move forward.
Yeah, we move forward.
And that's why we have the user comment sections on the site, so people can, good or bad, post what they think, and then the businesses can respond to that.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're going to get out of here. Is there anything else you want to let the viewers know?
Maybe too many things, but I just...
You guys are open until 2 every day.
We're open at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and if you need, what I always try to do is to go beyond being a business. I have helped a lot of tourists over the years, with things that are beyond the food and the restaurant. Not only information, but once in a while there's somebody that has come and got robbed or something like that, and I says, okay, let's get you breakfast. Go to the American consulate, things like that. I always try to help people, not just the information on how to get to the flea market and this and that.
Yeah. That's nice to hear.
You need a doctor. What kind of a doctor do you need? I have a card file there. Do you need a gynecologist? Do you need a gastroenterologist? What do you need? And I have, I can help you with a specific need. I don't recommend. I don't just go around and you need a doctor, you know. But if you do need one,
Yeah.
I have a card, a file with a number of doctors. If you need a notary public, so I'm always
There
trying
you
to
go. Memo knows best.
do service. We are in the service industry, and service is not just here's your eggs and here's your coffee, and will there be anything else? You know, if there's something more personal, more human, whatever that we can do, we do.
Interesting. So you're open 7 days a week. How many days are you actually here?
The great majority. Chances are that if you come here hoping not to find me, you will find me.
All right. Well, Memo, I have to ask you one more question. This might be a little out of the blue, but it's something that I ask everyone that I interview. What do you think of the rock artist Bruce Springsteen?
Oh my goodness. I don't know that much. I don't know that much about music, but I do. I can't say I
you
like
a rock
him in
fan?
general. I like a little bit of everything in music. I know very little about Bruce Springsteen. I know they call him the boss. I know I like "Born in America" is one of his songs.
Born in the USA.
Born in the USA, but I don't know a whole bunch about it. But I can say I like it. I don't, because there are certain groups like heavy metal. I can definitely tell you I don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Why,
Bruce.
see your uncle?
I wish.
Your dad?
I come from a long line of Bruce fanatics, and my goal is to bring Bruce Springsteen to Mexico for one concert.
Wow.
So, Bruce, here's another possible convert, future fan. Just got to get you down here.
You could easily convert me.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk
Thanks a
to
lot,
us.
Chase.
It was really nice to meet you. Stay tuned for more episodes of Around Town, and we'll see you online.